It's Randy Orton. Oh.
I have voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
Hey guys, how's it going? Mr. Beat890 here, and today I'm back at it with another WWE Missed Opportunities video. This will be episode 2 of the series. So as you can probably guess by the thumbnail or the title, this is going to be on Muhammad Hassan. I'd just like to thank Art Carter for basically requesting me to do this. So thank you to him. His channel will be in the description below, so if you want to check him out, I would definitely say check him out. It's a good channel. So anyway, on with the video. So Muhammad Hassan was a character that WWE made, and vignettes started to air about him in about late 2004, I believe. And he was obviously of Arab descent. But one thing that I really kind of liked about this character was it wasn't a typical kind of foreigner comes over to America and, you know, talks about the problems of America and that sort of thing. Because that had been done to death with Russians and, you know, Germans and that sort of thing. So it just wasn't, it was, you know, it was kind of a breath of fresh air, I guess, to see this kind of Arab-American character. So he wasn't actually even from Saudi Arabia. He was actually technically of Arab. I mean, he had Arab. So you know, he was said to be, you know, grew up and lived in America, but had an Arab family. And he said how, you know, he was treated equally as one of them. But then he claims how 9/11 was an excuse for basically Americans to become racist and discriminate towards people from you know, Arabic people and people of Arabic descent. So it's actually a really interesting character, and he debuted interrupting a Mick Foley promo, I believe. So obviously, you know, if that's the way you're debuting, you know, that obviously means that you had, you know, a chance of making it big if they're, you know, putting you in a high-profile angle like that straight away. But I think with Hassan, they did actually have very big plans for him. Like, it wasn't as if they did nothing with him. It was just a fact of circumstance and just unfortunate timing and that sort of thing. But what I really liked about this character was, you know, it was actually a character that actually got you thinking. Like, he always, you know, obviously he was a heel and the crowd would boo him, but he would go on the fact of saying, like, you know, how even, you know, he was saying that they were booing him because he was, you know, he was Arabic, and that, you know, they knew that he was right about what they were saying, but, you know, they'd been, you know, kind of brainwashed, I guess, to kind of think badly of Arabic Americans. So I really kind of like that idea of them kind of, you know, making him a heel, but showing some kind of you know, relatability to it, and it kind of got people thinking, and maybe some people might have started sympathising towards him as well. But obviously he was very over as a heel as well. It was their classic kind of, you know, cheap heat thing, but it worked. Like, you know, cheap heat I find always goes one of two ways. Like, either people just don't react to it, or they really eat it up, and the crowds just hated him. And that obviously means he's doing a good job as a heel, because at the end of the day, your job as a heel is to evoke a negative reaction from the fans. So I think that the character did very well in that way, in the sense he got a reaction, and the reaction that he wanted as a heel. Now, unfortunately, well, basically what happened was then he went over to SmackDown in 2005, I believe. So, and he was put into a angle with The Undertaker, and there were rumours going around that apparently Hassan was going to win the world title and become this huge heel, one of the top heels of the company, maybe. I'm not too sure about that kind of statement, but, you know, he was going to, you know, some rumours say he was going to win the world title. And so he went into a feud with The Undertaker. They were going to have a match at the Great American Bash 2005 for the #1 contendership, I believe. Would it have been the #1 contendership? I can't remember. It might have been, but it might not have been. If it isn't, I'm sorry. But basically, they're going to have a match at the Great American Bash. I'm not sure what the original plans were, you know, were to happen, But basically, what happened was, I think it was either the SmackDown. I think it was SmackDown a couple of weeks before the pay-per-view. They had the Undertaker face, I believe it was Daivari in a matchup, who was Hassan's kind of manager, I guess. So what happened was, in the middle of the match, I think it was at the end of the match or whatever, Hassan got down on his knees and looked as if he was praying to Allah, who obviously is the Muslim god, if you didn't know, but you probably did. But yeah, anyway, so he gets down on his knees, he prays, and then these men in ski masks come out and they assault the Undertaker and take him out and that sort of thing. And that I just think was stupid, because I just think it didn't really make much sense, because the whole point of the Hassan character was that was proving that he wasn't a terrorist, and you're saying how he was an American and was treated poorly, and because of the stereotypes of 9/11, people assumed he was a terrorist. But this whole thing of him having these men in ski masks, kind of you can't see their identity and that sort of thing, that kind of contradicted it. That kind of suggested that he is a terrorist, which I think was pretty dumb, in my opinion. So they beat up the Undertaker and that sort of thing, and that kind of statement, that was kind of controversial in itself, in the sense of having a terrorist attack on TV. However, so obviously SmackDown is pre-recorded, so this was recorded on a Tuesday, I believe, and it was airing on the Thursday. So the 7th of July, 2005. Now, that sounds quite a familiar date, doesn't it? Well, I assume it's a worldwide known date. It's definitely known around here in England. The London bombings occurred on Thursday, the 7th of July, 2005, and coincidentally, this episode of SmackDown also aired at this time, which was obviously just an awful occurrence. It really looked as if WWE were pulling a really kind of poor taste kind of joke, and it really, they did have a kind of viewer discretion at the bottom, saying this does not reflect the actions of WWE or whatever, but it really didn't. It really got a negative reaction from WWE, so they basically had to stop anything to do with the Hassan character. And then at the American Bash pay-per-view, the Undertaker just kind of sent him into oblivion and last rided him. And I think it was either off the stage or through the part. Yeah, either off the stage or through a part of the stage. But yeah, Hassan was never seen again. And it was a real shame, because the guy, he was pretty decent in the ring, I guess. He could cut a promo very well. He was good at getting, heel heat, I guess. The problem was, it wasn't as if he could, come back as another gimmick or character, because people would instantly realise that he was Muhammad Hassan, and that sort of thing in wrestling never really kind of, changes. People are always going to remember that character, even if you come back as someone else, especially something that controversial. So, unfortunately for Hassan, it didn't quite work out for him, and it wasn't even his fault. It was just the WWE creating a controversial character that came back to kind of bite them in the arse, really. So yeah, hope you enjoyed episode 2 of WWE Missed Opportunities. Let me know in the comment section below who I should do next. Really appreciate your feedback on this series as well. So in the meantime, hope you enjoyed it again, and please like and subscribe.